I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike, and welcome to a little bit different episode of the A&M podcast than we usually do. Because if you can't notice, we're in different locations right now.
Probably can't notice too much.
Yeah,
Besides
especially if
the
you're
fact
only
that we're
listening on
split-screened.
audio.
Yeah.
So, cool.
So today we are going to be talking about, we're doing game time a little differently. And, we might switch it up long term. We might not. We'll see. We're just going with the flow.
Trying something new.
Exactly. So today for game time, though, we are going to be talking about one of our favorite things of the week. Our favorite things of the week. I'm still trying to figure out what to call it. At first I said our crush of the week, but
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know if you like that. I think that's very cutesy for me,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
it's too cutesy for me.
But yeah, do you want to go first or do you want me to say mine
I'm going to
first?
let you go first. I'm going to save them for after yours.
Oh, okay. Well, my favorite thing for this week is my Nespresso machine. Nespresso, not espresso. I don't have one of the big fancy espresso machines, but my Nespresso machine has been getting the job done.
I would make the argument that it's better than an espresso machine. It's less work.
It is a lot less work, yeah, because you definitely have to put some time into making an espresso with a regular espresso machine. A lot more cleanup afterwards, a lot of pieces involved.
More skills.
I'm not gonna lie, I stopped using my Nespresso machine. I have a little coffee bar and I have the Nespresso and my Keurig on it. And for a while I've just been using my Keurig, mostly because the K-Cups are way, way cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
So, when I'm in a pinch and I need some coffee, it's easy to go on Amazon and just quickly buy a giant, 52 count box for $11 than it is to buy a pack of 10 Nespresso cups for $12.
Yeah. We have I don't know if it's the same model. We have the Virtuo. Does yours use the Virtuo pods or the other ones? Yeah. And we buy them on from Nespresso, and they're I don't know the price wise if they're a whole lot better, but they ship them really quick. Like we'll order them and get them 2 days later or a day later sometimes.
I know Amazon sells the virtual pods too. I think Amazon, it's like you could get 3 or 4 boxes for $40. I don't know. A lot of times I haven't done it just because $40 is a lot to spend on just not that. I think how I always look at it is I'm a coffee drinker. I'm having minimum 1 to 2 cups per day of coffee.
Right.
Whether it's an iced coffee, a hot coffee, whatever it is. A morning coffee, a night coffee, an afternoon pick-me-up coffee, I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
But when you're a coffee drinker like that, me spending $40 on, what would that be? Probably like 30, 40 of those pods. That's just that's an investment.
Well, and I think the thing with Keurig, couldn't think of the name of it. I think the thing with Keurig is that there are more companies that make pods for the Keurig, so that's why you can get cheaper ones. Where with Nespresso, it's not like, I think there's their brand, and then there's the Starbucks stuff, and maybe a few others, but there's not many that make it for that. Which is funny because that machine I think has been around. I mean, the Nespresso's been around for years, and I don't know. You would think it would have more of a following, unless it's because it's a little bit more expensive machine. It does make, the thing is, it makes better coffee.
It makes way better coffee.
Yeah,
that's why stronger coffee. You tell the flavor better.
Yeah, and it's I apologize to the audience. it's it's more like a specialty coffee to me. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like the ones that I have for at breakfast and that just the pick me up, get me going kind of coffee. I'm okay with the brand that I like for the Keurig, but when I want like that maybe a cappuccino before bed and I want to do that, I'll use the Nespresso coffee. Just it's
Oh yeah, for
smoother,
sure.
it's better.
Yeah, no, exactly. With that being said, on that, yeah, the Nespresso is more treated as a dessert coffee.
Exactly.
And I do like, also, so a lot of the thing is, even with my Keurig on the K cups that are for iced coffee or whatever, a lot of times,
I have so many questions, and we can.
Maple.
Oh, it was a cat incident.
Maple keeps going. Okay, so this is a quick little side story. I have an ocelotto tank here, obviously. And
I may
Maple
have to
keeps
drop a
trying to
picture
get
of an
into it.
ocelotto into this so people can see what they are, because they're straight from the devil. I'm sorry.
No, they're not. They look like little Pokemon. So we have Lucy and Albino, and Maple keeps trying to go up to the tank and like put her little paws in and get them. And
Uh,
it's,
you might want to get a lid on that tank just to
I
give some
know,
advice.
there's just a lot of moving parts to like this journey.
Yeah,
And yeah, Maple keeps trying to be sneaky, like literally doing like a little Grinch like tiptoe up to it.
I just pictured that in my mind.
And I was trying to be inconspicuous and throw
Pen.
a pen at her, but I missed. So, anyways, sorry about that.
Sometimes throwing the pen and missing though is good because it'll distract the cat and they'll go to see what that was.
Yeah, no, not her. She said,
Didn't
"Whew,
work.
dodged that bullet." Anyways, back to the ocellatos. She's not nosy enough for that.
She's too
Um,
focused.
but anyways, as I was saying, no, have you ever actually seen on Amazon, I think it is, they have, you know how they have the Keurig, the K cup little thing where you can put your own coffee into it? They
Yeah, I
have
have
one
one of
like
those.
that for the Nespresso.
Oh, do they?
But the thing is, and I don't know if you've noticed this too, maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but anytime I've ever used any of those, it just never makes it the same.
For the Keurig, I think it's you got to be using really good coffee for that to be, comparable. But like we have
Maybe.
a Ninja coffee maker that uses K cups, and it has its own thing for doing like single cup, single serving.
Hmm.
But it's like a basket that's 3 inches around or something like that. So you can
Yeah.
put more coffee in it. I think the stuff that they put in the K cups is like somehow super concentrated, and that's why you have such a tiny amount of coffee for a cup. Because like when I make my second cup of the day, if I'm using grounds or I use fresh ground, I it's like it's a lot more coffee than you could fit in a K cup for a regular cup of coffee. So
Yeah.
that's part of it, I think.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
I've been, again, I weaned off of my Nespresso for a while, but the other day I was at Target and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna
Yeah.
splurge, and instead of buying that, I don't know, probably T-shirt for
Yeah.
the amount that these Nespresso boxes are, instead of buying that or something silly, I'm gonna
The
I'm
cat
gonna
is at it
buy
again.
a I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. This was a bad idea. um
For future reference, you lock the cat in the room first.
I'm gonna buy a. I'm gonna splurge and buy the $12 box of Nespresso pods, and
And
I have been happy ever since. I think I've had 3 of them so far, so
yeah,
I'm trying to space them out.
that's what I do. I have it as like my nighttime, winding down coffee.
Yeah, if I'm sitting on the couch at night and I want a little pick me up, or last night I got a boost of energy around 9 o'clock and started mopping the floors, made myself an espresso coffee. Which,
There you go.
you know what's so funny is that the people might not know is we are very similar in the fact that both of us can have, because people think we're kind of crazy for it, we can have coffee at 11 p.m. I could be sitting in bed with a coffee,
Oh yeah.
drink my coffee, set it on my nightstand, and pass out.
Yeah, same. Caffeine doesn't, I'm immune to caffeine. Jay's the
Sometimes I
same
wish
way.
it
Jay has a
boosted me
cup
up.
every night. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Me too. I wish I could like lean on that as the boost of energy to get more done before bed or whatever, but
Yeah.
doesn't work that way.
I do it solely for flavor. Even the Nespressos that are supposed to be stronger. You know what I've also been liking with it is the because I always do it at your house, the double shot. Because ever
Yeah.
since I found how to make my Starbucks iced coffee on TikTok, they say that Starbucks uses a double shot of espresso, but they don't sell the double shots at Target, which I kind of hate
Yeah,
that part.
that's why I said they have more on Nespresso's website. We bought
Yeah.
ones there that were iced coffee ones that are similar though. They're that same size pod and they're really good for iced coffee.
I'm guessing
Um,
it's just a regular double espresso though, because like
yeah,
you can't
probably.
really
Probably they're just marketing it as use it for iced
use it
coffee.
for ice. Yeah. Hmm.
And yeah. By
Yeah.
the way, I want to mention we are not getting any promotional money from Nespresso, but if they want to send us free coffee, we will take it.
Please.
So, just to be clear, I'm going to mention what my thing for the week is, and it's not always going to be a product. Like in the case of mine, I had one thing I was thinking of that maybe I'll talk about another time, but that was a product. Mine is not a product. Mine is baseball. I'm glad that baseball is back. I had a good year for
Oh.
football, and I'm hoping for the same for baseball.
Baseball is back
My
officially.
baseball, yeah, regular season started this week. Phillies, I don't know what the record is. They're like 3-1. I know they did lose one, and they their first series they played the Washington Nationals. They won the first two games, and then they lost the third game, and but they won the series. But because I'm, a Philadelphia sports fan and we just won the World Series, I expect more out of the teams. So I was really upset that they didn't just sweep the first series, which I realize is unrealistic and, kind of ridiculous. But I'm glad baseball's back now. And Jason subscribes, that's the word, to the MLB package
Hmm.
so we can watch all the Phillies games. And he was saying how really that's a much better deal than like the NFL Sunday ticket, which we also subscribe to so we could watch the Eagles games.
Hmm.
Because the MLB package, there's, I don't know, 100 and some baseball games. There's like almost every night of the week you can watch baseball.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
it's a much better deal. So I'm just happy baseball's back because now until September I'll have something to keep me occupied.
I don't always like watching baseball. It's too long and slow for me to watch on the TV, but I do love myself a baseball game.
Like being at a baseball game.
Yeah, I like the environment of being at a baseball game.
Yeah, we used to
Nothing more
go to
American
the
than sitting at a baseball game.
yeah we used to go to the spring training games for the Phillies over in Clearwater because at the time I was working for a company that had the naming rights on their stadium, and they had a box like a skybox there, and that used to be fun. It used to be really fun. Like
Oh
spring
yeah, you guys
training
would do
games,
that.
especially that environment is so kind of relaxed. Because we've also gone to spring training games in Lakeland, where I forget who plays in Lakeland, but they were playing the Phillies, and that was it's just a great environment because they're smaller stadiums, so you're like kind of closer to the action. Um, just a lot of fun. Yeah, I agree with you. Like that environment being at a game is really cool.
They don't do spring. I thought they still did do spring training in Clearwater.
Yeah, they do. We just haven't gone to a game over there in a couple of years because driving from Orlando to Clearwater has gotten to be crazy.
And you had a box back then, which, to be
Yeah.
honest, I think watching anything in a box is better. I remember a
Yeah.
company I used to work with or work for. Um, they had a box at what used to be the Amway, and
Hmm.
man, you
Oh
get
yeah.
drinks provided, food provided, shelter,
Yeah. Yeah, they used
comfortable
to
seats, your own space.
this one they would have like I mean I remember they had like cheesesteaks and everything in the the box itself. The only awkward thing was like I got the tickets there just by asking somebody who was an admin for like the head guy or something.
Hmm.
And I didn't at the time I was working in the Orlando office, not in, like the Tampa office, who were the ones that really had access and all that. And so we go there, and it was like me, Jay, Brandon, and Chris.
Hmm.
And then it was like probably the guy who was running the division over there and his family came. And we're kind of like, oh, this is weird because I didn't even know the guy. I just worked for the company. But,
That's funny. Yeah,
and
that's how
then,
it
and I
was.
remember the box next to theirs was like Coca Cola's. And there was nobody there for the Coca-Cola box. So the guy came out and said, hey, they're going to open the other side too for us so we can use both if you guys want to go over there. So
What?
he didn't want us in his side. No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I
he's
just
like,
think it was
hey,
more room because there was a lot of
you
us
guys
there.
can go over there.
Yeah. No, but you're right. It is it's a whole different experience watching a game like that than, you sitting in the stands, and you're more crowded because the seating there is bigger, and
You gotta like really
it's the
travel.
way to
You gotta
go.
go to the bathroom. You gotta really plan your bathroom breaks because you
Yeah.
gotta.
Especially if you're in a middle seat, like at any sporting event, the worst thing you can have is a middle seat because
The worst.
you're either inconveniencing everyone or you're like me and you don't want to inconvenience everyone. So you just sit there waiting for halftime or the end of the game.
Yeah. That's
It's the
for
worst.
anything though that I have a middle seat in. The
Yeah.
movies, a sports game, a concert. I do not want to
Yeah.
be in the middle. An
Yeah.
airplane, sitting next
Airplane.
to us. If I was to have like a middle or window seat with a stranger next to me in the
Yeah.
aisle, that just sounds like it's never happened before, but it sounds like a nightmare to
Yeah. I
me.
always say I would rather be the person who's being inconvenienced by people having to get out to go to the bathroom than having to inconvenience people. Like, I don't
Right.
mind if I have to keep getting up because somebody needs to get out and use the bathroom. I will sit there and not ask somebody to get out.
I do not want to hover over your lap while I'm trying
Yeah.
to just leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I gotta do it again when I come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Exactly.
then there's also the people sometimes where they won't get up. They'll just like try and tuck their legs into themselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as
Yeah.
far close to the seat, and you're like
Yeah. I still can't get out.
doing it.
I don't know. I don't know what you think that did, but I still can't get out.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I'm happy that baseball is back just because,
It
you
means
love
summer.
baseball.
Oh, I thought you meant because it means it's summer.
No, that is, what's so funny is when I think about baseball, like when I see baseball specifically on the TV, it always brings me back to when we lived in Pennsylvania. I was an elementary school grade girl, and oh, oh my God, so unprofessional. I was an elementary school grade girl, and you guys would always have baseball on. Obviously, the weather in Pennsylvania was much different than here, and it was
Yeah, exactly.
it was brisk outside, but warm, but just perfect weather. Me and the boys would be playing outside. We would eat our popsicles when we came in. Like it just brings me back to those
Yeah, it's a
type of
whole
moments.
chat. It's funny that you say that because for me it's the same thing. Like I always am saying to Jay how I remember when I was a kid, the best thing was it was summer when baseball was on, so you were out of school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like the Phillies would have a West Coast road trip, so they'd be playing at like 10 o'clock at night. So I'd be staying up late to watch them play, and that was just always the best. Some of my best
Mm-hmm.
memories.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I always like baseball season. 'Cause it reminds me of those days, like
Yeah,
summertime. Except,
and
the summertime I have in my mind is not
yeah,
what summertime
it's
is now.
different. It's different here.
It
It's
is
different
different,
here.
but it's okay.
The only thing I'll say, you said you don't like watching games on TV because of like how long they are.
Hmm.
Uh, since they changed the rule with that pitch clock,
Hmm.
it's actually sped up baseball a lot. Like the games do not drag on quite as long. Like
Yeah.
the
I
pitcher
guess
has so long to throw a pitch, or it's they assign a ball, and it's sped things up a little bit.
to me, I mean, I've talked about it before, that I don't, even for me to watch a movie, it got to be a really good movie.
Right.
I mean, I could sit there and watch a TV series. I could watch two back-to-back episodes of an hour-long TV series, but to watch a 2-hour-long movie, it really has to be a good movie.
Yeah.
But for me to watch a baseball game, I think that's sometimes longer than 2 hours, isn't it?
Oh,
It's like
yeah. They
it could
can be. They
easily be
can
like
be.
3, 4 hours. Kind of like a football
Not
game, but
not
I think
4 hours, I don't think, but they can be longer than 2 hours.
a football game is more fast paced, so that's easier to watch, I guess, because they're
Yeah.
constantly like switching back and forth. But with baseball, that's why I like watching it in person though, because it's
Yeah, it's
it's
different.
nice and chill and slow
You're
and
usually socializing with people a little
mhm.
bit. Yeah. Yeah, it is different. The experience at a live game is a whole lot different than watching it on TV.
Yeah,
Somebody's calling you again.
spam. The first time it was like an actual person. The
Your old
second
friend
time it was spam.
Spam.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, I think we talked
View
about.
our last episode if you want to hear my
Yeah,
opinions on
that's
spam calls.
yeah, exactly.
But
Like,
yeah.
how dare you think you can just interrupt my day with a random call? That you know what the ones we're getting lately are? It's somebody's telling me that our loan is like about to be, completed, and they just need a little bit more information, which is funny because I don't have any loans that I've
Oh,
applied
I got
for.
one the other day and it was like, you're approved for up to $82,000. Just contact us. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm
That's
not.
the latest scam. That's the
I'm
latest
not.
scam going. Yeah. Don't fall for it, people. Don't fall for it. And by the way, we also did not get a promotional consideration from the Philadelphia Phillies, but if they want to send me some swag, I would love it.
And wear it.
Yeah.
I could use a
On
Philly
the
shirt,
podcast.
actually.
Yeah. Couldn't everyone? I have a
Uh,
ton. Look at this. This is old school.
you know what? When I found in my closet the other day, when they won the World Series, I had a
You're
pink
going to
one.
have to repeat that because I lost my headphone there. Say again.
The one that I found the other day was my old one from when they won the World Series,
Oh, wow.
and it's a pink one. I think
Yeah.
it's the
Back
one that you
in,
guys got me or something.
yeah.
Was it World
Wow.
Series? Might not have
Yeah, it
been
was.
World Series.
They won. No, they won. It's been a while, but they
Yeah,
won. Yeah.
it's an old shirt, but
Most of mine are vintage. Yep.
so yeah, I kind of like this episode. I want to do these. I think maybe once a month
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. What? This is the first one of
of
April.
April. Yeah,
So let's
these are
make
fun.
this the first game time of every month. We'll figure out what to call it. What's good? How about we call it what's good?
What's good with A&M? Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
Let us know what your suggestions are.
Yeah. Comment somewhere,
Yeah,
anywhere.
no royalty from it, but it will be
Yeah.
helping us out.
Yeah. And if we ever start doing merch, maybe we'll send something out. We got
Hmm.
these mugs.
We do have the mugs. I have
Yeah.
to use my mug more often.
Same.
Anyways,
All
guys,
right.
on that note, thank you
Have a
for joining
good.
us remote, virtually.
That's
Well,
all
I
right.
guess we're always
Also,
virtually, but
if you feel the need to comment, let us know how you like this format.
or if you like
This
us
was just
together more.
Yeah, this was more by necessity than by design, but we also thought it'd be a good thing to be able to do.
Yeah. And I think it was better to try it out on a shorter game time than
Yeah,
our longer chitty chatty episodes to see how it is.
I agree. All right, guys. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.